Hey guys, it's Luke here and welcome back to another video. You join me today on an incredibly windy day with this 2019 Mark 8 Fiesta ST Performance Edition. This car right here is owned by a friend and subscriber of mine, Ben, most recently known as Driving with Ben on YouTube. He has kindly thrown me the keys to this car so I can basically have a little first drive of it. Now, I've experienced the Mark 8 ST in its standard form before. This is of course the Performance Edition with a couple of extra goodies which have been added from factory. Ben has also done a few little bits which we'll run through very shortly. Now, some of you may actually recognize this car from two previous videos. The first of which was fairly recently when I went down to Goodwood for a track day in the M140i. Ben also came along and took this thing out on track as well. And the second video was actually when this car was brand new and he invited me along to the collection day, which of course I filmed. So since that day, Ben has obviously started a YouTube channel. Details for that can be found in the description down below. But yeah, like I said, I've experienced the standard Mark 8 ST before, but never properly the Performance Edition. And I'm quite intrigued by it because, you know, I'm a big fan of hot hatches, and this is probably at the slightly cheaper side of the market, but I have heard very good things about it. So what we'll do, we'll introduce you to Ben. I'll get him to run around the car, tell us all about it, because he's had it for quite a while and knows a lot about it. And then essentially he'll throw me the keys and we'll go out for a little spin.
Hi guys, yeah, so I'm Ben. This is my Mark 8 Fiesta ST Performance Edition. So it's one of 600 in the UK. Don't know how many are sold, but there are 600 that have been built and are for sale, and I've got one of them. So it's essentially the kind of top of the range of the current Fiesta STs, the Mark 8. It will probably be the kind of final swan song, hence it's a kind of limited run edition. Finished in this deep orange paint, which is the same paint actually that Ford put on the Focus RS Heritage Edition Mark III. Shmee 150's got one. If you watch a lot of YouTube, you will know that and will recognise it. So what do you get over the standard ST3? Well, the paint for one, that's a very unique colour. It's on this Performance Edition and the Heritage Edition RS. So it's only on about 650 cars worldwide. So invaluable, really, in my opinion. You get these very nice Ford Performance 10-spoke alloys. Mine are filthy because Luke and I were at Goodwood last weekend, so mine are covered in brake dust. From that, I need to clean them. And you also get Ford Performance coilovers. So they're lowered as well by, I think, 15mm at the front and 10mm at the rear. I think it sits really nicely on them. I don't think you need to kind of put any more aftermarket ones on it. I think if you wanted to put aftermarket coilovers on it, you'd get a standard ST3. So those are the kind of key upgrades that you get on the car. In terms of what I've done to it, fairly obvious. So I've put some decals on it around the front fog lights, up the side, and also around the rear fog lights and reflectors, just to set it off a bit better. Got some rally flaps fitted all round. Actually fitted them for quite a practical purpose, which was to stop stone chips. Ford's paint is not renowned for being brilliant against stone chips, so I thought I'd fit those all round just to, one, save it getting really dirty, and two, stop any chips coming up the side of the car. Particularly with the plans I had with it earlier in the year, which was to do a load of road trips and stuff, which of course didn't happen because of COVID. There are some bits on the inside which I'm sure Luke can get some B-roll of an overlay right now, which didn't come from factory. So a lot of people see the car and think they were. It's basically a load of orange gel inlays that go over the kind of chrome and the interior, which I think look really nice. Probably should have come from factory like that, or at least with something different on the interior, because that's currently the same as an ST3, which I think was a little bit disappointing. The car is running an uprated panel filter. Doesn't really add any power, but just kind of improves the efficiency of the air going into the engine. Of course, we've got a Hampshire Photography limited edition sticker, reflective, which you won't see in this light, unfortunately. But there it is. So under the bonnet quickly, guys, I'll open it up and talk you through the kind of specs with the power and stuff that it's running. So Ford's 1.5 litre Dragon engine, turboed, producing about 200 PS or 197-ish brake. Torque is at about 280 Newton meters, I believe. Might have got that wrong. So it's a really, really punchy engine actually. 3-cylinder. So to be getting that kind of power out of a 3-cylinder is great. And it will also shut one down. So when you're kind of running on a motorway, top gear, under light load, it will actually shut down to 2 cylinders to save fuel, keep the engine cooler and that kind of stuff, which is good for polar bears and the environment. So yeah, as I said, running a slightly uprated panel filter, not an induction kit, for some reasons which I will go into on my channel at some point. But yeah, really, really impressive engine actually. 0 to 60 about 6.5 seconds. On a really good launch, in really good conditions, you could probably get slightly under that. To get anything significantly quicker, you'd need to map it, which I might do one day, I don't know. I think some of the ones that are running stage 1, 2 and 3, you can get under 6 seconds just about. Once you start getting up towards like kind of 300 brake. Which is again a huge amount of power to be getting out of a 1.5 3-cylinder, although of course it is turboed, which helps. So yeah, really impressive stats from the engine actually. Again, the torque you get for quite a bit of the rev range, so from low down it will pick up really, really well, even from about 1500 RPM, which is not much above idle. If you're in a high gear, it will really, really pull. And then towards the top end, it does lose a bit of torque at the top end, if I'm honest. I found that when I took it on track. Towards the top end, I just didn't have the same power as some of the other cars on track, but through the mid-range and lower down, really, really good pull out of the corners, which of course, combined with the coilovers, the lightweight alloys, and it's got a limited slip diff as part of the performance pack that you get on this car. It is a real weapon and really fun to drive. So the performance pack also includes a shift indicator light in the dash, so when you hit 6,000 RPM that will flash up and you can actually flat shift while that light's on. So you can keep your foot planted on the accelerator, drop the clutch, throw it into the next gear, and it will basically rev match into the next gear for you. You just have to drop the clutch again, which is really cool. But yeah, really impressive little package, really pleased with it. Not sure how long I'll keep it, but we'll see.
Straight off the bat, very short throw.
Very, and that's very short. It's not got a shifter on it or anything. No, that's just completely factory. Yeah. Very low down though, isn't it? It is, yeah. I mean, I've got long arms because I'm tall, but for you as a smaller person, it's a little bit more difficult. So. Excuse me. You got your seat right up. You're almost out. Well, to be honest, I wish you had a sunroof. You put your head out. Jacked up, aren't I? No, no, I don't like a pan roof because it's too flexible then. There you go. Yeah. But anyway, yes, well, first of all, thank you very much for trusting me with the keys to your car. Yeah, it's had a bit of a story, this car, on my channel. It's the third video that it's been on? Third now, yeah. Yeah, so we did collection in January. Yeah. That was over 5 months ago now. Give it some out of here. Very talky, isn't it? Very, yeah. Very talky. It's nice to have a proper manual as well. And it's a good manual, I think, anyway. I mean, the clutch, as you'd expect, is ridiculously light. Yeah, incredibly low. Yeah. The pedal range. Yeah. It's almost, you just lift your toe off the floor and you're getting the bike. Yeah. So. And we have put it straight in sport mode, obviously. Lots of torque steer. We were nearly in a ditch then. I don't know what you're on about, mate. I'm taking very good care of your car. Now, that is something I haven't experienced in an awfully long time. Yeah, you do just have to be careful. Pop? Some good old pops and batter. I tell you what, heel and toe is, again, ridiculously easy on this. The pedal is perfect. Close enough to the steering wheel, Luke.
So this is the kind of car, right? A bit like my GT86, but you can use all the power all the time.
Yes, you can
And
drive.
that's what's so good about it.
I mean, we would never do it on the public road. Oh, careful, look, there's a motorbike list.
A motorbike, at least that's a good word,
Yeah.
isn't it?
God.
I'll take it down here. This is a good road, actually. The perfect road for this car, actually. Probably
Are you sure it's the road?
Yeah, it's yes.
Looks like a farm track to me.
No, it is a lot of fun. I think definitely a talking point for this video is the fact that it's a performance edition.
Yeah.
But it's theoretically on paper not any quicker than the standard.
That's correct.
Yes,
that is
but
the elephant in the room.
Yes.
I think it did, and someone from Ford will probably watch this and write to me, but I think it's really disappointing.
But I do think that, I mean, it's not like they put a performance edition or performance badge on it and not done anything different. I mean, you've got things like the limited slip diff, the coilovers, the wheels.
Yeah.
I mean, on track is where you'll probably notice the weight reduction in the wheels per corner,
Yes.
I imagine.
Yeah, because it's a kind of unsprung mass.
I mean, to be honest, the torque steer is a lot, so
It is, yeah.
that's probably down to partially the fact that the wheels are so light, but
Yeah.
and they look good as well.
They do look really good, yeah, when they're not covered in brake dust like mine. I think they look, especially when the ST, even the lower models in the range, come with the kind of grey accents everywhere.
Yes.
So it kind of matches them, which I really like. But yeah, so it's no quicker on paper, but owners will argue that because it's that bit lighter, with a little bit less unsprung mass, I think the alloys all round save something like 7 or 8 kilos, which isn't a lot really, is it, for a car like this? But
Yeah, I suppose. And it's bright orange.
it is bright orange, yeah.
Definitely bright
so
orange.
it does get some looks compared to, say, a normal one.
And it's just completely stock brakes. Well, stock is in same as the ST3, right?
Yeah. So say you get the nice little ST red brake calipers.
To be honest, that's one thing I'm not 100% sure on, and I know you've tried to hide that as much as you can, and that is the contrast between orange and red.
Yeah, it's. I mean, it's a difficult one. I think the calipers on this. Well, I think the tell is this had red ST badges, and I changed them almost straight away.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So the red calipers don't really go that well with orange. They do sit quite nicely in the alloy on its own, but then you get the bright orange around it.
Although the grey and orange go very well.
Yes.
Very well indeed.
Yeah, I think grey, orange and black is kind of what I'm going for.
And there you go. It's meant to be.
Oh,
we got ahead. It's a performance edition Sainsbury's van. What are the chances?
So it is. We're in Sainsbury's spec.
Yes.
Lovely.
I wonder if he's got gel bits on his interior as well. Talking about them, I actually really like all this. Very nice.
Yeah, so you'll overlay something right about now,
absolutely.
I imagine. But yeah, so these are from a company called Print Peel Stick. If you're a Mark 8 owner, you will have heard of them. If you're not, they're essentially a printing company that moved into doing vehicle graphics and overlays.
Yeah, it makes a massive difference because, I mean, to be honest, the interior, as you'd expect, well, it's the same as the standard ST3 interior. Sorry, I don't want to curb your wheels.
What you've just discovered is the awful steering lock.
I tell you what, yeah.
It's like driving a barge at times. There is, when you go very, very slowly, I've managed to do it kind of under 10 miles an hour. To be under about 10 miles an hour in first gear, suddenly you get better steering lock. So I think it's because it knows you're manoeuvring.
Sorry.
What?
I see what you mean about that shift light.
Yeah.
It's like a little, is it an S or an ST?
It's an ST, yeah.
badge.
It's like almost like an amber traffic light.
Yeah.
Pops out the back there.
You know what? For a little engine, it done half go.
Yeah. It does shift.
Yeah.
I mean, you can imagine what fun it was at Goodwood.
Oh, yeah.
Because I could take a lot of corners flat.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I think we spoke off camera, didn't we, at Goodwood, that through Ford Water, so if you don't know Goodwood, Ford Water is a high-speed right-hander.
Yeah.
We were doing the same speed.
Yeah, I was doing 120, you doing 120.
Because you were having to lift or give it a dab of brake to get it in.
Yeah.
And I could actually just launch it in with my foot flat.
Yeah.
And it was sick.
You really had to grab onto that wheel.
Yeah.
You really do, because when you've got your left hand here changing gear, and you dump the clutch, that's when it
does
goes
become
a bit.
dangerous. I mean, not like lethally dangerous. So like the alloys are light, and the diff, which means it's trying to grip.
It's
so it's going to give you as much. It's just going to throw you kind of wherever.
No, I'm pleasantly surprised. I mean, albeit on paper it's not that different to a standard Mark 8 ST, but when you drive it, when you experience it and give it some time, it all kind of ties together.
Yeah.
I feel that, like, I can feel everything working. I mean, this gearbox as well, I know that is the same, but I really get on with this.
I think Ford absolutely nailed the engine, the gearbox, even the exhaust.
Yeah, I mean, how do you make a little three-cylinder sound this good?
Hopefully everyone at home can hear it. It does normally. You can, because it does also. There you go. But it does play it through the speakers. So
right.
I mean, you'll know from outside the car it does sound really good.
If it's anything like some other cars, we can't really hear it much here, but it will be really obvious on camera.
Yeah.
Sometimes that's
just the frequency, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
No, but I'm very impressed. I'm very, very impressed. I mean, for a stock three-cylinder, you'd think, oh, it's not going to be much, but it is.
It is. No, it is really, really, really good fun.
One other thing as well is it gets a lot of looks. I've noticed. I mean, there's hardly any cars on the road anyway. Yeah. It gets a lot of looks.
Driving to meet you, driving out of where I live, there was like a few people walking along the path, and they all stopped and turned around.
Yeah.
It's like you don't just get the look, you get the look and then the double take. They go, what's that?
What's that?
So, I think it just stands out, doesn't it? And I think the orange
that's what it's all
really
about.
shows off some of the angles.
Yeah. And the side stripes.
Yes.
I'm a fan. I'm a big fan. Should I say, if this video gets 1,000 likes, that you'll
go on. If this video gets 1,000 likes on Luke's channel, I will personally remove the side stripe.
Have I got to zoom it in as well, like I did on my channel?
Yeah.
Personally remove. Climbs the revs very, very quick as well.
Yeah. I think you start to lose it after probably 5,000 RPM.
It kind of slows down.
It slows up.
Yeah.
Which is what, I mean, at Goodwood I was only hitting sort of 125 on track, and it's because that top end is limited.
Yeah.
So you kind of were limited in the power output anyway, so you can only get so much out of it, unfortunately.
Yeah, yeah.
But through the corners it's brilliant, because you're not normally at above 5,000 RPM.
I imagine this thing in the corners is brilliant fun.
It was really good fun, yeah.
Anyway, I think that's probably going to wrap things up. Nice little spin in the car. So yeah, I mean, I've experienced multiple Mark 7s and now multiple Mark 8s. But I just wanted to get a feel of the Performance Edition, see what it's like, see how all those extra goodies you get from the factory do work. And I personally think they do, and it's going to be hard to portray that on video, as I'm sure you're finding on your channel as well. But those of you who have experienced one or own one like Ben here, then you probably get it. You probably get it. I think these are going to be quite good news in the long term. I think so, personally.
Yeah,
I mean, maybe
bad,
not in a couple of years, but give it, I don't know, it's going to be like a classic fast forward, maybe. Maybe that's a bit far in saying that instantly.
Maybe,
but
we'll see.
We love a good fast forward, don't we? But anyway, I am rambling on as per usual. A massive thank you goes to Ben for, well, inviting me along, letting me take his car out for a good hoon. Of course, like I've mentioned, he is now on YouTube. You can find all the details down in the description, which is good fun. We had a good laugh on track, and I believe probably by this time this video goes up, both your track videos will probably be up on the channel.
Yeah, I would think.
But anyway, that's going to wrap things up for today's video. I hope you guys have enjoyed. If you have, please make sure you leave a like.